50 years after Martin Luther King was assassinated, this past Monday we commemorated another Martin Luther King Day. It's a little bit of a difficult one. It feels, to a certain extent, like the progress that we thought we had made over these 50 years has been more of an illusion. The country feels divided, and no matter what side of the political spectrum people are on, you hear that sentiment. The Super Bowl is supposed to be all about fun, but instead of people talking about who will be playing in the Super Bowl, what commercials or what halftime shows will be part of the Super Bowl festivities, people are talking about who will be kneeling for the anthem, whether the cameras will show the players kneeling. All of this, to a certain extent, is really a reflection on who holds the power. Martin Luther King said about power, "I'm not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good." That type of power is the type of power that will bring change and that will bring good. And this was a message that Hashem made sure Paro and the Egyptian society learned. Paro's power was the opposite. Paro's power was a power that was immoral, that was wrong, and that was evil. And God made sure that that message was sent loudly and clearly through the plagues. There's a fascinating midrash that the Al-Sheikh, Rav Moshe Al-Sheikh, a 16th century rabbi from Tzfat, known as the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, quotes. He quotes the midrash that shares that Paro purposely had the doorway entering his palace made very, very low, so that when anyone came into the palace, they automatically had to bow down. And not just that, but he placed an idol, an Egyptian god, right by the doorway. So they were bowing down to the idol, to Paro, when they entered the palace. And says the Midrash, when Moshe and Aaron entered, they didn't have to bow their heads. They entered standing upright. That it was all an illusion. The need to bow, Paro's power, it was all an illusion. It wasn't really there. It was an evil power that was doomed to fail. What I love about this Midrash is that it points out the absurdity of this illusion of power. That Paro could only hold that power when he set up a doorway that forced people to bow down when they entered. And that type of power, and this is what Paro and the Egyptians and the whole world learned, that type of power ultimately will not withstand. That type of power is only temporary until something more powerful comes and takes over that power. The power that will last forever, the power that's truly powerful, that's not an illusion, that is real, is, as Martin Luther King said, power that's moral and right and good. And with that type of power, hopefully the next 50 years can see real progress that's not an illusion, but that's real, moral, and good. Shabbat Shalom.